It's a mean age. Whoopsie.
That's like
hit
being
the wrong button.
It's like being at a wrestling match and you're expecting them to announce like one wrestler and you hear the other wrestler's music. I'm like, oh shit, they're playing Brian's music.
Oh, he's coming down. The flames are coming out. Yeah. Oh man, we don't talk about these titles ahead of time. Odie titled the episode Sailing with Fetterman. So I'm interested to see what that's about. I did see his fucking lovely white hoodie and shorts press conference stuttering incompetence today, which I had joked was, it was good he wore white because it was a wedding between incompetence and incoherence. So traditional white is best.
I don't have my comment on Fetterman or my video of Fetterman is not on that one. Actually, he was much more coherent, I think, in that one, in the sweatshirt one, than I don't know if you saw the one from earlier this week when he was addressing a witness at a hearing, and he made no sense at all.
Was it just him going, insane. Fire, bad?
That would have been better. But the funny part is the video I'm going to show actually comes from him. It's his team tweeting it out.
Oh,
it's still like so horrible. But anyway.
Unbelievable, man. By the way, I will say, we're streaming live to Rumble, in addition to Twitter, to Facebook, and all these places, YouTube. Without a doubt, it is true. If you live stream to Rumble, your views are 1 billion times higher. Approximately
1 billion.
1 billion times higher. It's not even close. It's unbelievable. So keep that in mind. Good to know for our expansive purposes of building the brand out further and faster and higher than it's ever been without the use of performance-enhancing drugs.
Maybe a little bit of performance-enhancing drugs. But
it's more for fun than for profit. That's the problem. You use performance-enhancing drugs to build the show out to get the profit, then you make the profit, and you put it right back into the drugs. It's a vicious cycle.
Indeed it is. Speaking of vicious cycles, one vicious cycle came to an end this past week, hopefully. The Russia collusion hoax. It's over. It's done. How do you feel about
that? Is it done? Adam Schiff doesn't think it's done. Adam Schiff's still out there talking about it. He's like, well, I've seen collusion. I've got the receipts. It's like, dude, what are you talking about? We're so far down this rabbit hole now. Like, you've been exposed 50 fucking times. Like, what else are you going to try to do here? What else are you going to pretend you have when you've got when the FBI literally came out and was like, yep, that's about right.
The FBI's response or press release was so absurd. Like, it's so typical of like a corporation, this corporate speak mentality, where they're like, well, yeah, we totally fucked up, like 100% fucked up, but don't worry, we put some procedures in place. The next time we can't fuck up like this. It's like, what are you talking about? It's just blatant corruption. You didn't put procedures in place to stop this blatant corruption. Like,
and I guess they're going to say, like, they have new leadership now. Bullshit. It's the same old shit. They're going to protect the interest of the elites. They're going to protect their own asses. That's it. But I will say, as bad as the FBI release was and statement was, still better than what Bud Light did after the Dylan Mulvaney thing. It's still better. Bud Light failed worse than the FBI. They're still, month over month, they're still dropping like 20% per week. Like, it is incredible. And their solution is to slap some fucking, camo on their aluminum beer bottles. Like, that's gonna fool the people. They're gonna forget about wait, hold on, camouflage. I don't give a shit how many dicks or vagina men and women's there are. They got camo on these bottles. It's like, they really think people are that stupid that it's gonna forget?
I love all these Instagram reels of people making fun of Bud Light. I just saw one today where it's like two guys are in a grocery store buying beer, and the one friend goes to the other. He's like, yeah, I still drink Bud Light. I've been drinking it for 10 years. I'm not going to stop now. It hasn't changed me. So he grabs his case of Bud Light off the thing, and he starts walking down the aisle. And his friend like goes to grab one, then he looks over, and the guy who just bought one is bending over to like I guess set down the case, and it's just showing a thong. So he throws the Bud Light back.
Well, good segue into talking about Miller Lite, which people are saying Miller Lite should have learned a lesson from Bud Light. But here's the thing. Bud Light actually did their ad after Miller Lite's, their endorsing campaign, right? So this Miller Lite ad was planned for Women's History Month. Mm-hmm. So they announced it in advance, but yet the decision to roll with it is a little bit curious considering the boycott backlash. So let me just play this real quick.
Here's a little known fact. Women were among the very first to brew beer ever. From Mesopotamia to the Middle Ages to colonial America, women were the ones doing the brewing. Centuries later, how did the industry pay homage to the founding mothers of beer? They put us in bikinis.
Put them back in bikinis.
Wow.
Didn't we play this one last week?
Look at this.
No, we played this on our Mufasa
It's time
call.
beer made it up to women. So today, Miller Lite is on a mission to clean up not just their but the whole beer industry's Miller Lite has been scouring the internet for all this and buying it back so that they can turn it into good for women brewers. Literally, good How, you ask? Ladies, take it away.
First, we turn the bad into compost. Then we feed compost to worms. Push out beautiful fertilizer. That good helps farmers grow quality hops,
which is then donated to women brewers to make their own really good
But there's definitely more shit out there.
Fucking
In your
high
attic,
school
in the
science
garage,
lab?
in your parents' basement. Send any you got into Miller Lite, and they'll turn that into good too.
All right, there you go. So there's the ad, right? All right, so yeah, we talked about it on a Mufasa call, which you guys can join if you go to our Patreon, patreon.com/Lions of Liberty, or Lions of Liberty, or lionsofliberty.locals.com, and join at a $25 level. We do a monthly call with our supporters to talk about issues of liberty, shoot the shit, etc. So you can get on that.
Talk about anything, literally anything you want to talk.
Literally
about.
anything and everything. So this ad, right? This just came out, but it was announced earlier. I didn't have as much as an issue with this one as with the Mulvaney thing, because this one, to me, it's annoying and disingenuous to say that somehow, again, it's like, okay, women created beer, and somehow putting women in sexual positions to sell a product is out of bounds. It's just insultingly dumb. And it comes at a time when people are obviously sensitive to things being insultingly dumb to push woke ideology. But I'm not offended by this. I'm just annoyed by it. So where do you fall in this ad?
Yeah, I guess I'm kind of along the same track of thinking. I mean, I'm not like outraged by it or anything. I think it was a well-made ad. It had some witty aspects to it. I don't know. It might make you laugh a little bit, the way that they kept bleeping out, the word shit, which was, I thought that was decent. But it is kind of annoying how just this movement towards what is it, third wave feminism? Is that what they call it?
Yeah.
Anyway,
yeah.
It's I'm just sick of it. Like it's this it's basically canceling of the past, and essentially what this woman saying, the curly-haired comedian, who, if you were watching a video, you would have seen her. I forget her name. Is
she's the chick
saying,
from Broad City, and I don't remember her name either, but she was in the show Broad City for a long time.
And that show's all about sex, right? So what people are watching that to hear about sex. So what is she talking about? And that's the thing. Like, so she's going to trash these women who probably got paid some money, I'm sure, for being in Miller Lite ads or whatever beer ads. And they have a nice body or whatever. Good for them. They made some money. What's wrong with that?
Right. There's nothing wrong with using sexuality to sell products, being proud of being sexual, being proud of being attractive. These women, to your point, they got paid money. And I guarantee the women that book these bikini ads to be like the cutout girl in the beer store, unbelievably lucrative, probably made their modeling career. It's what these women who are bikini models have aspired to be. And guess what? We still have bikini models to this day. There's nothing shameful about it. It shouldn't be torn down. It shouldn't be made to feel shameful and said that it's shit. It's not shit. In fact, it's fucking fantastic. It makes me happy to see this. And you know what? This ad does not make me happy. No happy.
You know what?
Angry.
The more I think about this, the more I hate this ad, because it's the same thing they did to Aunt Jemima, which they canceled Aunt Jemima, which made no sense at all. You're canceling, of course, not a real person, right? But you're canceling no, Aunt Jemima was real, right?
She was real. She was a real person. Yeah,
you're canceling a black person that is on packaging in order to be replaced with whatever it's replaced with now. And now this is women canceling other women from the past and saying what you did was wrong, so you're canceled. We're going to shred you and turn you into shit, basically.
Right, exactly. And the way they put it, it's almost as though were the women enslaved bikini girl hot camps? You know, this is a two-way street. They had the option of being in bikinis and being in the ads or not. They weren't, unless Miller Lite has vast Jeffrey Epstein-style grooming islands that we just don't know about. Maybe they do, in which case we'll find out eventually.
Was Daniel Snyder involved in it? Maybe they did. I don't know.
Probably. So, you know, there's a voluntary interaction here with these women. But not only that, the number of women that are out there that are brewing beer, I'm sure it's much higher than it used to be back in the bikini 80s or whatever they're saying. But it's also one of those things you go, what is your market share you're trying to appeal to here with this ad, as opposed to the market share you're pissing off and driving away by telling them they have to feel bad about bikinis and that this is shit? I mean, I can't imagine. There's not that many women out there that just will go out and buy a 12-pack of fucking Miller Lite to keep in their house and drink it. I'm sorry, it doesn't exist for multiple reasons. Number one, women maybe just don't like the taste of beer. Women and men are different. They can have different taste buds. Just saying, they're different. But also, calorie-wise, taste-wise, you know, there's not just an existing market that happens to be out there for women that go out and chug down a 12-pack of Bud Light every night or Miller Lite.
The women who are buying a 12-pack of beer to chug down in the night, they exist. They live in central Pennsylvania. They're not buying Miller Lite or Bud Light or Coors Light. They're buying Jenny Light and a pack of Camel Lights. And
I was going to say, the women that are apt to chug down a 12-pack of Miller Lite probably also like the ladies in bikinis, if you know what I'm saying.
Maybe.
Let's get to the heart of the matter. I mean, your most likely audience is not going to be the chicks that want to shred the bikini girls if they're chugging down 12 packs of Miller Lite as a lady. So
I actually have another beer commercial. So this Miller Lite commercial, I think it was before the Bud Light one with Dylan Mulvaney, right? And really kind of got lost. Then it's gone viral recently with people calling it out. This is a new Coors Light ad. So Coors Light, I like what they're doing. They're digging in to like the macho side of drinking beer. Not Coors Light, Coors Original, sorry. So check this out. This is narrated by, if you watch Yellowstone, Rip Wheeler's character, like the most macho guy on TV, just leaning into the market saying, Bud Light gave this up. We're just going to take it. I think it's fantastic.
The same Rocky Mountain water, the same brewing tradition that started 150 years ago in Golden, Colorado. Because when you're a favorite beer of rock stars, smugglers, cowboys, and presidents, you don't compromise. That's our legacy. What do you want to go down in history for? Coors Banquet. Start your legacy.
I like it. What do you want to go down history for?
That's good marketing, especially at the end saying, what's your legacy? And basically throwing and right in Bud Light's face. What do you want to go down in history for?
Exactly. No, that is brilliant. By the way, it did look like they handed what looked to me to be JFK a Coors. And I'm going to go out on a limb and conspiracy theories say that Coors Light was probably complicit in the CIA assassination of John F. Kennedy. I can't corroborate that, allegedly.
So.
You know what? Let's just run with it. Odie, the best PR we could get is if Coors sent us a cease and desist letter on the conspiracy that they were complicit in the CIA assassination of John F. Kennedy.
I'll go the other way and say I don't agree with that, and I would like Coors to sponsor our show. We don't need money; just send us a case of beer every month, and we're happy.
That would work. Banquet though, I don't want that Coors Light shit. Banquet beer.
I think I'm going to start. I used to drink Banquet. I don't know when, like 10 years ago. I went through a phase. I like. They still have. Are the cans still like shaped a little differently than a normal beer can? Like a little bit taller, maybe.
I think they are, but I usually get it in bottles when I can, and the bottles are still those little kind of funky. They're not like Mickey's grenades, but they're funky. I just had to transpose all the shit going on with these brands and Yingling, which has grown massively, does not really do much advertising, and this is their pinned tweet from April 14th. Yingling, the oldest brewery in America, independently owned and family operated since 1829 because we make good beer. You know what? That's all you need to fucking say, guys. That's all you need to say. Yeah. If you have a good product, you don't need to go and tell us that we suck and we shouldn't look at booby girls. We shouldn't have to be, have people go out and go to these different, manipulative influencers. We make good beer. Enjoy the beer. Here you go.
The interesting thing with Yingling, and that's crazy that they are still independently owned. I would assume because they haven't been bought yet that they're always going to be this way. They've just made that decision because it's hurt them in a way that they haven't been able to expand coast to coast, which they are slowly working their way there. And I'm sure they've had offers
with Coors.
They've probably had offers they've turned down to be bought out to be able to do that. But they said no, we're just going to go at our own pace.
Well, like I said, they made a deal with Coors. I'm not sure exactly what it is, if Coors is taking over brewing using Yingling's recipe or whatever it is, but it's been 5 years now. I've been waiting for Yingling to come to the West Coast 4 or 5 years. It still isn't here, and I've seen zero updates on it, so I don't know what's happening with it. But once that happens, and Coors will be smart with Yingling to speed that up, because now's the time, guys, to strike. Yeah. Once that happens, you're going to see Yingling become America's most drank beer. I can guarantee you, because it's already the most popular beer on the entire East Coast. I don't know if people realize that as well. It's number one across the East Coast.
Is it really? Oh,
yeah. I think over the past 10 years. Yeah, over the past 10 years, they've
because it is relatively.
Down.
It's pretty cheap. Like compared, it's less than Bud Light or Coors Light. I think, pretty sure.
Yeah, it's cheap. It's delicious. Doesn't give me a hangover.
It does tend to give me a hangover. I typically only drink it now, like for tailgating. It is a great tailgate beer. Just something about standing in a field drinking a Yingling. That just feels right. I don't.
Yeah, man. Well, it's got that. It's a nice kind of darkish lager. It's not too dark, but it's a warm. It doesn't make you too bloated, but it fills you up. It's got the nice taste of where it's like you get tired of drinking light beer, standing in a field. You want to, that nice heft to it. Delicious.
Yeah, you got a little heft.
Yingling, sponsor our podcast. Take it away. Yingling, also complicit in the assassination of John F. Kennedy Jr. Got to cover all the bases. All the bases must be covered. All right. I got one more thing that I wanted to talk to you about, John. And I know that you also have this on the mind today, but the Sports Illustrated covers are out. And what was it? You had a nice turn of phrase. I'll let you say it for what
I was just saying. I remember back in the day when Sports Illustrated was, when the Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue had swimsuit models in it. I remember as a kid, I got Sports Illustrated. I always look forward, to getting that swimsuit issue because I was an adolescent, and why would you not?
Oh yeah.
But now they have octogenarians and trannies, so they should rename it Grannies and Trannies.
Yeah, I like it. Grannies and Trannies Illustrated. Here is Martha Stewart's cover. This is not photoshopped. This is the cover. It is Martha Stewart, who has had enough
heavily edited and photoshopped.
Heavily shopped and heavily surgeried. Martha Stewart. Yeah. Doesn't look. I'll give her credit. Doesn't look like she's got the big fake tots in there. Those are the bags of sand you'd expect from a 70-year-old woman. And her face doesn't look bad, but again, so much surgery, so much touching up. Mm-hmm. But still, I'm not gonna want to see Martha Stewart in bikini. I don't want to see it. If I was going to masturbate to Martha Stewart at any point in time, it would have been prison Martha Stewart, because you can have all sorts of weird fantasies about what goes on in prison. It's not going to be this one. I'll tell you that much.
I don't get it. Like, what are they trying to do? Somebody commented on that tweet I did saying like, well, maybe they're trying to market to the boomers, trying to get them to buy them. The boomers aren't going to buy this magazine. Like, nobody buys magazines anymore.
No,
I don't know. I just don't understand it.
It is. They literally removed, like, and I used to be just like you, John. Even into my older age, 20s, I would still stop at least. And in the 30s, I would still stop at least and look at the Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue. Now, I will not open it for fear of what I will see. It's like the fucking Ark of the Covenant, man. I cannot risk my face melting off by opening the cover of that and looking inside the magazine anymore.
You don't know who's a woman. Who's a woman, who's a man? Can't tell.
All right. So, do you have anything else, or should we go into memes? Because I have one that ties into.
Yeah, I can. Let me do Fetterman now, since we're going to name this episode.
Okay, yeah. Let's see the video.
About Fetterman. Let's dig into this before we get too far in. Good old Johnny F.
I'll give you an example. The Republicans want to give a work requirement for SNAP. For a hungry family has to.
He's testifying at a bank hearing, and he's talking about SNAP. So just okay, well, let it keep going.
To have this kind of penalties, or some kinds of working required. Shouldn't you have a working requirement after we sell your bank with billions of your bank?
You also notice this is a Fetterman video, and if you saw there, he said sale.
Yep.
And they have the text going at the bottom. And they said after we bail, so they changed it. The bastards.
Requirement after we sell your bank with billions of your bank. Preoccupied when then SNAP and requirements for works for hungry people, but not about protecting the taxpayers. That will bail no matter whatever does about a bank to crash it.
Well, that's
not the
end.
But that was like a question. He's waiting for a response, and apparently the witness is just like bewildered. So he continues on.
Sure.
Thank you, Senator Fetterman.
Oh, I thought he did. Never mind. They must have cut that part out. There was another part that he added, but it was just so completely ridiculous.
It's absurd in the bank. He's wedging this shit into the bank hearing, which is annoying. And granted, it's not that I don't even agree with one side of the point. Fetterman sees it as an either or, apparently, in that either we require the banks or we shouldn't have any requirements on work for people getting SNAP, which I think if you're getting free food and free money from everybody else, why shouldn't you have to do a little work? That's just me. But I understand.
Well, at least look for work. Maybe within the past 3 months, show that you've looked for work somehow.
Yeah, I mean, go strangle people on the subway. That's a public good, and yet we're punishing people for it. So, but the idea that the banks should have to do something for these bailouts, yeah, I agree with you, John. I'm 100% with you. Maybe give that idea to somebody else to say. Maybe somebody that can actually explain it functionally rather than stumbling through it and just being completely incoherent. Like, I don't even know how you would answer that in real time without reading the subtitles. I don't know how you know what the fuck he's talking about.
Like, I don't know why they're even messing around with, maybe there's like rules where he has to ask the question verbally. Like, why can't he just hold up like cards with the question written?
That'd be awesome. It'll be like the scene in Love Actually. Fetterman goes up to the Senate hearings and it's like Love Actually with the poster boards, and he just does like peel them off to music. Whatever that song was that Rick from The Walking Dead was doing.
To emphasize it, big goofy John. Right. That could be entertaining. It
would be. I would much rather see that. You know what? If he does that, I will officially endorse his campaign whenever he runs for re-election.
Well,
and at least
dude, he's going to win again. I mean, he's obviously going to win. This state of Pennsylvania is completely stupid. So
no, well, we've got him and we've got Dianne Feinstein, who has to be wheeled in with one eye open, looking like she's in a Tool video and slowly melting. So you got those two champions of people's rights.
Yeah, she looks rough, man. I'm surprised. That's elder abuse. I mean, Joe Biden is elder abuse to like a degree Hers is like blatant, like taking a woman out of a nursing home who's just staring at the wall, blabbering to herself, and this wheeling her into the Senate. It's completely absurd.
It's hideous, man. And you know what it reminds me of? I'm surprised we haven't seen a bunch of stories come out, like a bunch of articles about her talking about how she's got an incredible workout regimen that a woman 40 years old couldn't do, just like we saw with Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg right before she died. Remember all those articles came out? Oh, she's doing push-ups and she's curling things and she's doing squats, and then no, she's not doing any of that. She's very sick and done. That's what she is. So,
yeah. Well, Ginsburg somehow survived for like 15 years with pancreatic cancer, which is like the rarest. I mean, it's like the most aggressive form of cancer. Like almost nobody survives that long. So,
adrenochrome.
I don't know if that was. Yeah, I don't know what was going on there.
That's the answer to that, John. A lot of adrenochrome. That's what kept her alive. 100%. All right, let me go. I'll pick this up because this ties into the. Hold on, I got to find my fucking shit now. This ties into the Sports Illustrated stuff that we already talked about. But I thought this was a pretty funny quote, so I'll share it. This is from a stand-up comedian. Actually, it was shared by Donald Trump Jr., who I follow on Instagram because he actually posts funny memes. Don't hate me for it. But this is from a comedian named Jeff Dye. He says, if Lizzo is so beautiful, why do women get mad anytime I tell them, you look like Lizzo?
That's a good joke.
It's a great joke, considering they keep pushing her down our throats and telling us that she's so hot when she is an overflowing lava cake of grossness.
But she's a vegan, so she's healthy.
Very healthy. Yeah, because all vegans are the least healthy people I know, by the way. They're either anemic, overweight, because all they eat is fucking fried vegetables, or anemic and overweight.
Trying to find real quick. I don't know if I'll find it that quick. I'll give one quick search. There's a picture of Robert Downey Jr. He's a vegan now. He looks like he's about to die. I'm not seeing it here.
It's funny when people looked healthier when they were overdosing on heroin, and then it takes veganism to really make them look like shit.
Oh, here it is. Okay, let me share.
All right, let's see it.
This one here on the right.
God.
Like, he looks like Andre Agassi contracted AIDS.
Yeah.
And then fell down a flight of steps.
Oh, that's awful, man. Did the vegans make his hair fall out, or is he like doing something for a role there?
It looks like that might be fake, but it's hard to tell. I don't know.
So awful.
It is hard to tell.
Veganism.
Looks terrible.
It's where to be. Well, he's still. That's why once he stopped being Iron Man, I guess not having to wear the heavy suit around, keep the muscle strong. It's just what happens, man. And plus, hanging out with who's the chick that has goop? What's that fucking chick's name? The annoying blonde.
I know what you mean. She just was sued in that ski accident.
Yes.
I think she won.
She won. Yeah, she won. Yeah. All right. Give me a meme.
I got one more.
I gotta go to Costco, man.
All right, I gotta eat dinner. Last one here. So we got Bernie Sanders. This is from Twitter, from Sal the Agorist. Bernie Sanders with his book here. It's okay to be angry about capitalism. It is. Wait a minute. Oh, number one in the free enterprise and capitalism category of Amazon.
Doesn't make a lot of sense.
So, obviously he's doing pretty well with capitalism, selling a book to be number one in a category. So is it okay to be angry? You think he's angry about that? You think he's mad that he's number one because he's making money? When he gets the checks in the mail, does he get like real upset and storm around the house?
I would imagine. You know what it reminds me of? This reminds me of back in the days when you had people that were very religious, but also sexual perverts. And so they would whip themselves with cats and nine tails as they were jerking off onto their prostitutes. That's Bernie Sanders with capitalism. It's the same thing. He's angry, so he's got to whip himself for just how much fun he's having using capitalism to make millions of dollars wearing a nice shirt for once, a fitted shirt, which of course he would not have without capitalism, without the mechanics of capitalism, without the availability of the products and the resources and the workforce to create the fucking shirt and the stupid watch he's wearing and his fucking glasses. None of that shit without capitalism. So fuck off, Bernie Sanders.
I still like it better than Joe Biden, though. But.
Yeah, I do too. But talk about the lowest of low bars. Yeah. Okay, I've got 2 more quick ones I'll do here. One here is, share this real fast. So, this is from Austin Peterson, AP4 Liberty on Instagram. He also shares a lot of good memes these days. I think that's his profession. And you've got all the Antifas and the Black Lives Matter people and the, Pussy Riot people saying, we're going to burn this city down. And then the cops say, please stop. We can work this out as they're rioting in the streets. And then you've got a white blonde-haired guy, just like one Daniel Perry or whatever his name is, saying, I stopped a crazy man from assaulting people on the train. And the cops pulled their guns out. Straight to jail.
Straight to jail.
Straight to jail. Yep. So it's that one. And you said you don't have any more, right? So I'll do one real quick.
No more.
All right. This has nothing to do with anything other than it pisses me off, and this meme encapsulated it. I have a lot of plants. I like plants. I think they brighten up a household. And I will go and buy air plants, exotic air plants, which are supposedly easy to keep alive. All you do is dip them in water couple times a week. Nope. Doesn't work. Die every time. So this meme from Middle Class Fancy, which is a pretty funny little Twitter account or Instagram. Woman can't figure out why plant which evolved to live in Borneo rainforest keeps dying in her studio apartment. Probably stolen from The Onion or something, by the way. And yeah.
Probably.
That encapsulates it. I keep buying all these amazing plants, and they keep dying, and I think somehow that it's my fault. No, it's the plant's fault for leaving the rainforest, and for me for thinking that I can keep them alive. None of these things happen.
A secret, a little hack here with keeping plants alive and watering them. You water them from the bottom. So what you do is you put them in like a tray, and you just fill the tray with water. It's got to be one of those things that has like a hole, plant with a hole at the bottom. And then it'll just take as much water as it needs. And then you take it out of the tray and it's watered rather than dumping all this water into your pot. So maybe that'll help you.
Maybe. But I'll just say this. I had a bonsai tree. I had several bonsai trees. I go to the Ralph's. The bonsai trees are on display at Ralph's in the grocery store. And I buy them and I take it home and I promptly have it die. Right. And I had a whole joke I did about this, about, bringing the bonsai tree home. So I'd look like I was a teacher of children, not a molester, but a teacher. And they'd keep dying. And I'd go back and I get so mad because I'm like, who works at Ralph's? Dipshits and morons work at Ralph's and they can keep a bonsai tree alive. What does that make me? If I'm dumber
than
the idiots at Ralph's.
Can they keep it alive? How long do you think is the shelf life of a bonsai tree in Ralph's? Yeah. Like, they probably go pretty quick, especially a place like LA. Do. Maybe a day or two. It's not probably not doing anything to keep them alive.
Yeah, it's probably just the circulation of the product line in there. Yeah, exactly right, man. All right, anything else to add? Otherwise, off to our private lives of glory and justice.
End it.
All right, meme on.